This is Radio Peru. Bruno here. We know the boys love making other people's food, but they've never made Peru's national dish of late night drinking, LOMO SALTADO. It's a stir fry of beef, vegetables, and the best part, French fries. I'm Sam's longtime friend Bruno. Can't wait to see it. Solo espero que no lo caguen. I just hope they don't fuck it up. Radio Peru.
Yes, that was my friend Bruno. He's been bugging me forever to make lomo saltado. Bruno's Peruvian. He does claim to be mostly Peruvian because, frankly, it's a little sexier than just being American. This is a wonderful combination of sort of Peruvian-esque beef and Chinese cooking because there's a really significant Chinese population in Peru. These two things come together in the best way possible. Listen, if you've watched our Irish spice bag video, and you should watch it because it wasn't it amazing, boys?
Yes.
This is kind of the Peruvian version of it. And I'm not going to try and guess what came first, the Peruvian version or the Irish version. I'm just going to tell you, they're both fantastic. Here's how we do this. There's fries involved in this, and yes, I could buy frozen fries and just do them in the oven, but I'm going to make my own. So we'll double fry them. We'll cut the fries, we'll get them going. We'll marinate the beef, cut some vegetables, and then it will be time to bring everything together in the most effing delicious way possible. Oof, well, I'm excited, and you should be excited because this is going to be great. So fries first. I'm going with a couple of Yukon Golds. I'm really loving them being fries lately. So here's what we're going to do. Just cut the ends off and peel. And now normally, you know, if I'm making fries, you see me put them in water, and that's if I'm going to hold them for a bit or want to give them a soak. I just don't want them to turn brown, but we're going to cut these guys fairly quickly and go straight into the fryer, so it'll be okay. I also like the idea that there'll be this shorter, fatter version as opposed to the long, skinny restaurant style. I don't know what they do in Peru. I've never been to Peru. I just know fries are in it and it's delicious. All right, we're just cutting equal size planks of all of them. Remember, equal size cooks at the same time. On here, pop them in a fryer. Fryer's at 3 1/4 for this first fry. In they go. We're gonna give them about 7 minutes till they're golden brown. We'll take them out, we'll drop them again right before we need them for a couple minutes. In the meantime, we can get our beef sliced and marinated. That's hanger steak. The Peruvians sometimes use tenderloin, which is lovely. Sometimes skirt. I'm a fan of the hanger, so I'm gonna use it. Now, what's important is we slice against the grain. I tell you this all the time. Hanger steak, it's really easy to see. That shortens up the fibers, makes it more tender. So we're gonna just make small, thin slices like this, definitely cutting against the grain. Just go till you got both your pieces done. By the way, recipe below, no need to write anything down. When that's done, put it in a bowl. We're gonna add 2 things. About a teaspoon of soy, and stealing a page from the Chinese technique cookbook, we'll add a little cornstarch that will help make this velvety and beautiful when it cooks. So I'm just gonna use my hand. I didn't wanna overdo the soy because there's more soy, just a bit, being added to the pan at the end as we finish our stir frying. All right, let me set this aside. We can cut our vegetables. Before we cut veggies, here's the fries. Looking beautiful. Out they come, no salt or anything. We'll wait till they're finally done. For now, I'll take these away and get some vegetables. Here's what we've got. We've got red onion, obviously. We've got Roma tomatoes and 2 ají amarillo. These are the yellow, actually now orange. They turn orange as they mature. These are the Peruvian peppers. On the Scoville scale, how you measure pepper heat, these are about the 40,000 Scoville unit index. For comparison purposes, a jalapeno is about 10, 15,000. A serrano is about 25. If you couldn't find these, some serranos would be fine, maybe with some yellow pepper for the color, because that's kind of an important part of this. In any case, let's just cut this stuff up. The onion, simply into sort of decent size slices. We don't want this stuff getting wibbly, really soft. So if you keep them bigger, it'll be a little bit better. All right, these guys are good. The tomato like this. Now, I'm not wanting to use too much of the inside. If it's super wet, you can just get rid of it like that. Or just take your thumb, get the seeds out. The moisture's not really gonna help us. All right, now the ají amarillo. I found these at a Latin market. They were frozen, let them defrost. They also make the same version, but in a paste form. If you can't find them, you know, use other peppers that have some nice heat to them. I'm just gonna open them up, remove the seeds, forgetting to use gloves, which is probably gonna be an issue in a couple minutes when I wipe my eye, but I'm in too deep right now to stop. The cooking is a stir fry process, and we all know stir frying happens quickly, so you want to have everything ready to go before you start, because if you gotta wait to start chopping veggies, you're gonna be ruining something, and you don't want to ruin anything. All right, these guys, I'm just gonna cut this way and then into thin strips. I mean, there's decent heat here, so you don't want to give somebody too big a piece, unless you're Bruno, who can handle a shit ton of heat. On the platter with these guys. All right, super hot pan, that's what you want. We're gonna put the oil in. I'm only gonna do half at a time. If I put it all in, it will crowd the pan. It won't sear the way I want. So in goes our oil, and then about half of this. We're looking for color, not necessarily to cook it all the way through, because it will come back to the pan at the very end for a final stir of everything. You can see the shininess. That is being helped along by that little bit of cornstarch we put in. All right, beef out. Pan back on, let it get super hot again. Right, time for the fries, final fry. And they go. Fryers up at 375 this time. Now they get the 2-3 minutes till they're super crispy. But in that time, we finish off our lomo saltado. We're ready for the onions, again with the oil. In they go. Maybe a couple minutes. This charring is good. What we don't want is for them to start to get like really wibbly, which is a proper Peruvian word for mushy. Next in, our peppers. Tiny bit more oil. The ají amarillo. And these are gonna waft right up to Chance's nose. We're almost there. Remember our tomatoes, in they come. They're only gonna get maybe a minute or so. Love it. Little garlic's gonna find its way into the middle, like this. Tiny bit of oil. Just as it gets fragrant, we stir. We add the beef and the juices. It gets about 15 seconds, and then the two things that tie it all together. Apple cider vinegar, and a little bit more of the soy. And we haven't seasoned salt and pepper. Look, it's making its own little beautiful sauce in there. Thank you in part to the cornstarch. Last thing in, our fries. Seasoned a little bit, and they go. One quick mix. Now we can plate. We have a bowl and rice. Because after all, it is Chinese-esque food, right? Even though it's Peruvian. And now in we go. God, it smells wonderful. And let's make sure that we've got some of these ají amarillos on top so we know really what's going on here. And a final little bit of cilantro. There you go. Lomo saltado, requested by Bruno, made by me. Well, I don't know if you eat this with chopsticks or a fork, but since I'm just going with a fork. How about that? That is absolutely delicious. I hope you can try and find it. Just a really nice amount of heat. Oh my God. Well, you know, who knew there was a substantial Chinese population in Peru? But look what it did for some of the food. Make it. I'm having more.